Actually, our today's topic is the Newton's third law of motion, as you can see here. But before we get into our discussion, we shall have to discuss its definition to understand what does the Newton's third law of motion actually is. So, its definition is action and reaction are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. Here we are talking about the action and reaction. So, it is also known as the law of action and reaction. Now, according to this law, action and reaction both will be equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. Now, let's try to understand it with the help of an example. For example, we have two bodies. One of them is body A and other one is body B. Body A exerts a force of 5 Newton on body B as action. So, body B will exert a force of 5 Newton on body A as the reaction. But here, remember one thing, action and reaction will always be equal in magnitude. For example, if action is of 5 Newton, then reaction will also be of 5 Newton. It cannot be of 6 Newton or 7 Newton. Similarly, if reaction is of 6 Newton, then action will also be of 6 Newton. It cannot be of 8 Newton or 10 Newton. And the other point to be remembered is about direction. The direction of action and reaction will always be opposite to each other. For example, if action force is acting upward, then the reaction force will be acting downward. Similarly, if reaction force is acting upward, then action force is acting downward. Now let's discuss some examples from our daily life to make our concepts clear. Here we shall discuss three examples, and our first example is a book lying on a table. In this example, we can see that a book is pulled by the gravitational force of the earth downward because gravitational force of the earth pulls everything downward while the table is pushing the book upward. Both these forces are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction, and so the book is balanced and Newton's third law of motion is satisfied here. In this example, we can see that the forces, action and reaction, are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction, which are the conditions of the Newton's third law of motion. Now let's discuss our second example, which is of rocket propulsion. Actually, in rocket propulsion, hot exhaust gases are being injected into the atmosphere from the rear end of the rocket, and rocket gains momentum equal to the momentum of these gases. So Newton's third law of motion, or you can say law of action and reaction, is also applied here. Now let's discuss our third example, and that is very common, and that is of walking. Actually, in our daily life, when we walk, we exert a force on the floor, and the force exerted by us on the floor is action. Okay, and the reaction force is exerted by the floor on us, which is the reaction. And as a result of that reaction, we move forward, backward, or wherever we want to be. So, it was our discussion of today. I hope you all would have benefited from this discussion. If you have any question, then here is my Instagram ID. Feel free to ask any question here. Now, I will see you in my next video. Till that, take care. Allah Hafiz.